When we watch or read spiritual content or we watch spiritual videos, there's always an aspect, if we haven't had an experience or seen that reality, there's a part of our mind that is always trying to put its finger on what's being talked about or what's being said. Like, the mind is always trying to, what's part of its job is to just process information, understand. It goes, okay, I understand this, and that sort of, it seems to be its ability just to process and understand information. But it's confusing when we start talking about a spiritual message. The mind, it's something that the mind cannot understand. And this is a super important aspect to know about, because we can spend so much time trying to conceptualize and understand what gets pointed to through teachings and videos. But the mind can understand context, and some understanding can definitely help, can definitely point to. But the process of grasping and clinging actually pulls us further away from that reality. Because that reality is an experience of the mind, not clinging, grasping, trying to understand anything. It's when there's no conceptual overlay over reality. Because the truth, or whatever word you want to call it, is what is right in front of us right now. It is the direct experience of now through the senses. And our whole lives, since our mind started to function, since we started to believe that we were separate from reality or survive, I don't know why, but the mind, is always tried to have a hold on reality, always tried to grasp and understood reality and understand reality. Because it's maybe survival purposes, or it finds some sense of security in trying to understand reality. And it definitely has its perks. It's definitely, there's been a survival tool to understand and grow and learn. But when it comes to the unknown, it can't know that. So to undo that, we have to start noticing whenever the mind is trying to grasp that, and it's usually thinking about past things it said, trying to leech onto past experiences. Or it thinks it's got something like, ooh, this feels peaceful, this must be it. The mind can never say this is it. There's a restlessness of trying to get the simplicity of this truth. So to get out of our mind is we come into the body and really hone in to the senses, to seeing, to hearing, to tasting, to smelling, to just all our senses. See, the senses without interpretation, when I feel something, when I see something, if I'm not reflecting on that seeing, not trying to interpret what I'm seeing, I'm just seeing. You could say seeing without something there that's seeing, just pure seeing, the pure senses. That's where we experience reality completely just as it is, in the purest sense. It's the mind that muddles with our ability to experience reality from a pure sense. And not even so much that thoughts are the problem, it's that thoughts have created a false sense of self that is interpreting everything. So thoughts as just thoughts are not a problem, but when there's a belief in a thinker of thoughts, that causes suffering. When there's this belief of someone who's trying to understand, someone who's interpreting this me that we feel resides somewhere in the body. So with moving forward, we stop trying to understand. It's alright to get context at the start, just to get a little bit of a mental map of what's going on. But then it's coming into the senses, coming into the body, just sensing reality as it is. The senses are pure in themselves. They don't judge, they're just experiencing things. Seeing has no problem with what it's seeing. Hearing has no problem with what it's hearing. It's only a me, a feeling of me that would have a problem with an annoying noise. But the hearing itself doesn't have a problem with the annoying noise, right? And it's getting into that aspect of ourselves that it just is experiencing without grasping onto anything. And looking for the one who is hearing, the one who is seeing. Not trying to understand what's going on, but doing an inquiry into, or even who's trying to understand this. Because to the senses, this is just this and nothing more. And try to look for the one who's trying to understand reality. Because you can't understand this because it doesn't need to be understood, because understanding is only something the mind needs. In the world of just whatever this is, which this is just, it's just what this is. And yeah, in the mind's realm, it needs understanding, it needs context, it needs all these things to feel like it has a ground. But coming into the senses, inquiring who's trying to understand, who's hearing, who's seeing, where is the me? This is how we can find freedom. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.